Star Report. I'm your host, Star. It's Tuesday evening. We're going to talk about Drake, a.k.a. Aubrey Graham, the rise and fall. Six God, down in flames. Yeah, this is it. This is the end of the road. I don't care how much glazing you do, how much, semen slurping. This is the end of the road. He has now filed petitions, okay? The lawsuits are coming, but to be clear, these are pre-action petitions against a faceless monster. Now, I can respect a lawsuit. Sometimes you have to, give people warnings or a slap on the wrist to say, hey, watch how you play with my name, or I don't want to be affiliated with you. I can respect that. But these same institutions, business institutions that he is now going up against are the ones that have made him a wealthy man. Not just nigger rich, a wealthy man. I'm saying down in flames. I'm saying this is the end. He's going to have to restructure. He's going to have to purchase some type of streaming facility, if you will, or invest. Maybe he's already got that in the works. But the faceless monster that he is now accusing, which has, again, put out his music, and more than likely, from my experience, they have used all of the tools that he is now crying about. This is hoe shit. This is a bitch move. Make no mistake about it. I'm going to try not to go back into my history, but if I need to for purposes of clarification on certain things to the actions that have been taken here, I will. But I want to more so focus on Drake. You guys can play around with all the little deep dives of Dave Free and PG Lang and all that stuff and TDE. I want to talk about these actions that he has filed. And I also want to say this with regards to the language that has been used from what I can see. And I've got everything printed out, pardon me. He has been working on this for quite some time. This has not been put together overnight. No, he has been in his feelings. I can tell that the legal teams involved here in this, these actions, they know what they're doing. However, they're going to follow his lead. I think Drake is, I think he's drunk off of the power. I think he's got a bunch of yes men around him. Anybody in their right mind would say to him, hey, man, as lawsuits do go, or pre-action, petitions, you have to be ready for counterclaims. Let me say this early with regards to Drake. Some of you may or may not remember, because he, in his second petition, he's claiming defamation. Well, Drake has invested in battle rap, which I love. I'm still very much a part of the battle rap community. I do a lot of stuff behind the scenes, but I hosted the first URL battle rap event, and the back and forth exchange, some of the most vicious and vile, if you will. Drake has sponsored quite a bit of those events, so he has partaken in what could be perceived as demeaning, derogatory, lyrics or verbiage, if you will. So now he's crying about the claims of him being someone who, has, I want to be very careful here, involvement, if you will, with underage people. Well, let me take you back to 2018 for those of you who may or may not have forgotten. A 14-year-old white girl named Millie Bobby Brown. 2018. Millie Bobby Brown. She was on the red carpet at the Emmys, all right? And she said, with regards to her and Drake, they text all the time, every day. She said, I love him. Now, that's when I got off the train. I said, whoa, I've seen this before. I've seen my nigga MJ when he interviewed whoever that was, I forget, once upon a time, and he said, I share my bed with children. What more beautiful thing can you do, or something? I said, whoa. So Kendrick, in my opinion, had the basis to take the shot that he took, and clearly that was not just a headshot, but a death blow. Pow! I want to hear from you guys, but, let's be clear with regards to the pre-action petitions that Drake has filed. Two, by the way, and they're both in my community section. If you have not seen them, download them. I mean, I'm going to talk about them in detail here tonight, but I want you to know that I did post the PDF files in my community section. You can download them, take them, and feed yourself. So this is a beautiful time, right? It's November. Christmas is coming. We have to eat. We have to feast. We have to nibble off of the carcass of the sixth god. All right. Also, let me say with regards to his claims. In one of the petitions, the second petition to be precise, he's requesting depositions of iHeartMedia Inc. iHeart, formerly known as Clear Channel, who I battled with back in 2007, 8, 9. I was suing them to try and get the remaining $2 million off of the $17 million contract. You can Google this, Troy Terrain, New York Times, $17 million. I got most of the money, but there was $2 million left after I got tossed like a Caesar salad. And then after spending close to $400,000, I said to the lawyer, hey, I'm not going to spend $1 million with you chasing $2 million because I'm going to have to pay taxes on that money as well. So what are we doing? But the point is, Drake is now requesting depositions from iHeartMedia Inc., a faceless monster. He's in his feelings. He feels betrayed by UMG. He feels that they, were his friends, his team. No. Going back to when I worked with the labels for a decade, maybe 12 years to be precise, we were constantly reminded in those marketing meetings twice a week, this is a business. This is not a family. Everybody's got a job to do. I worked at WEA, Atlantic, Asylum Electric. You know this already. Drake is in his feelings. He thinks he's been betrayed. He's, in a sense, he's got his nigga wake-up call. Can I get an amen in the live chat if you're understanding where I'm going? I'm sure you do. He got his nigga wake-up call. Talking about bots and inflated, numbers. Yeah. That's the game. I can go so far back with this. Yes, managers used to buy quantities of albums for the Beatles to make it appear that they were larger than life. I did East Coast retail promotion. I would call stores and send them cleans so they could sell the cleans to then give me a higher position when Billboard called them, even if it wasn't selling. And I would sit there with a goddamn typewriter and type up these weekly reports, percentages with whiteout. That's always been the game. It's all bullshit. And then when SoundScan came around, oh my goodness. The formula had to be restructured, but it was still a business of inflation, oversaturation, and fudging the numbers. And now more so than ever, the old saying does not apply, right? Women lie, men lie, but numbers don't. No, numbers lie now. Numbers lie now. So again, Drake, Aubrey in his feelings. Oh my goodness, I've got so much to reference here. Who remembers, what year was that when he was on a tour bus and and he lost his Rolex shooting dice? The hit or miss is nothing. I said, look at this mark-ass nigga. You could see the look on his face. He couldn't believe I just lost a Rolex shooting dice with bum-ass niggas on a tour bus. That was beautiful. Anyway, so I do want to talk to you guys tonight, and I want to do more talking, okay? I'll let you call in, but you got to watch the language. Drake is going down in flames. Michael Jackson went down in flames. We love the Michael, yes, and we still do. They put all sorts of smut on his name. At some point, this girl who's a woman now, Millie Bobby Brown, right? 14 years of age. Again, I'm sure that those text messages will be retrieved. Nothing that you do by way of these electronic transmissions gets deleted forever, okay? So let me just fast forward here for a second with regards to the defamation case. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Summary judgment will come back, and that will be thrown out. With the other claims of accusing Universal Music Group, the streams being devalued and so on and so forth. I'm going to have 2 or 3 people call in. Please try to be objective. If you're a fan of either Drake's or Kendrick's, that's fine. But this case is monumental. And as I said, I think he has been working on this based upon the case law. Case law is what you put into a complaint, a petition, when you are filing motions in response to another motion or whatever. And the research for case law alone can be very costly. So this, again, has been worked on by Drake's legal team for quite some time. Do you think that he's trying to intentionally disrupt the Super Bowl? I would say so. Troll babies, what say you? Is Drake trying to make Kendrick watch his mouth or have something, I don't know, edited out? The part where he talks about, the pedo accusations. And in Drake's lyrics over the years, he said some really questionable things, That's something to think about if you're a Drake fan. Okay, so you're accusing Kendrick in art form of hurting your feelings. Or has it affected his bottom line? That's the real question. Is anything that Kendrick has said affected his bottom line? I've combed through both complaints, and I don't see anything substantial that says Drake has lost income or potential gross earnings. Key words here. Potential gross earnings. I see nothing that shows me that, unless you say different if you have a legal background. When you do file complaints or petitions, you have to say what has been hindered in terms of your development or your company and or business growth. What has been stopped? What has been jeopardized? Not just what, I had to spend money on therapy. Just it has to be something that a court of law says, okay, your business, your brand, or your services has been affected. Okay. All right, guys. Showrunner Keith Lee, food critic. I like this guy. For those who don't know, Keith Lee was an MMA fighter. Don't get fooled by his, very mild-mannered demeanor and tone. Keith was with the shits. You can see video footage of him. He was in Seattle. I'm not going to say the name. I'm not going to say the name of the restaurant, but a couple of weeks ago, or was it a month ago, he was in Seattle, and he was doing a review, and he gave a sushi restaurant a really great review, and their business doubled, tripled, possibly. And salute to the trolls who, when Keith Lee was holding up the chopsticks on a piece of sushi, somebody zoomed in and saw a little worm moving. Now, was it artificially done? No, in my opinion, no. Someone else also the next day from that restaurant, and they produced receipts, a couple, a man and a woman. The woman got sick, some type of E. coli. She was in the hospital. So the sushi restaurants have closed down. Now, me personally, I've never liked sushi. Going back to the 80s when sushi became this big thing and people were, just going out, oh, we're going to sushi, terrain, come on. I was like, well, listen, if it ain't fried, I can't eat it. But, this is a big thing. And again, Keith Lee did a review. I don't know if any lawsuits are flying just yet, but the restaurant had to close down 2 locations, all right? Okay, let me get set up here. Fila, I got your donation. The feds followed Michael for 10 years. Michael Jackson found nothing. He owned half of the Sony catalog. Yes, this we know. Okay. And Michael was in the process of purchasing Marvel as well before they did all the movies, MCU, and all that stuff. And yeah, they ran down, and that was the end of Michael Jackson. Just want to say that. Next time, as I got your donation, thank you, sir. He says, "Fam, Drake to be in court with blackface and yarmulke." Okay. Area code 909. We're talking about Drake. Please watch the language. Are you up to speed on the petitions?
Yes, sir. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you?
Hi, sir.
Hey.
Okay, I just wanted to state that it's convenient now that, he's filing these petitions to gather more information when he benefited from the same system that he's now complaining about. Yeah. I just feel that the industry or these label execs are showing him that he's still such and such. Mm-hmm. He's a hybrid, but he's still ninja.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
No, stay with me. Stay with me. He was a special nigga. You were so special,
Right.
You helped us get it. Oh my God, did you get it? And we got it, while the getting was good. But now the game is changing. There's new things coming with regards to streaming and other ways that people will listen to music, And if he has ran his course, then yes, they will treat him as such. But now with regards to the petitions and, Kendrick coming up at the Super Bowl, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, do you find this to be just some real hoe-ass activity on Drake's part?
Can I say hoe-ass? But yes, yeah. I agree. Go ahead. I agree wholeheartedly because, and now he's going on this tour in Australia. It's crazy. I mean, he needs to run far, far away. They not like us. Point blank.
Yeah. Well, he's always on tour, I saw him in 2010, Tufts University up in Massachusetts. But if you ask me now, fighting this faceless monster, which is all corporate at this point in terms of responding to him, he's going to be touring for the rest of his life. Do you think this will affect his releases and his acceptance from the masses? Can you finish up on there?
Oh yeah, I believe that Drake's career in hip hop is done. He's washed. He might as well go over to and be a pop star completely. Leave rap alone because he's inept at this point. Yeah. I mean, he ran to the feds.
Yeah. I appreciate the call. Thank you, darling. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
Okay. Yeah, I got no problem with people running to the feds, but damn, over a rap battle. After losing to Pusha T, I think that's when Drake should have just stopped. What I don't know, not that I know everything, but what I don't know is how this beef with he and Kendrick even started. Or maybe I forgot. Is that important with regards to this particular situation where we are now? How this even started? And let me say, with regards to him claiming that bots and manipulation and AI played a part in the dominance of not like us. I could be wrong, but didn't Drake pull the trigger first with Tupac's voice and Snoop Dogg? I don't know if Tupac's estate actually sued him, but he was sent a cease and desist, and he took that track down. Is this, Karen from the 6 tweaking, if you will? Mob Ruth, I got your donation. Thank you so much. Hey, Deeds, you out there? Did I put the PayPal link at the top of the live chat? I always forget to do that. Guys, I'm going to need you to hit the like and share button on this one because I'm sure I'm not going to be able to. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sure I'm not going to be able to monetize this show. Wait a minute. Where is I want to speak to where are you? I was looking for the Drake fan. There you go. Dana with the data. You and I spoke earlier. You said, I don't give a damn. That's Bay. You talking about Drake, yes?
Yes, that is Bay. And I saw your title. I was like, oh, okay. We kicking his back all the way in tonight.
Let's go. Let's go. Stand up for your man.
First of all, yes, that is Bay. I'm still going by the records and dance to the tunes. Okay. And I support him in this lawsuit. Yeah, people need to, answer some questions about this number manipulation. Yeah. Yes. Okay. I support Dre. I'm on his side. And I also said this earlier that, and maybe I am a little biased. However, Kendrick.
That's fine.
Yeah. Kendrick just always seemed a little fishy to me, like a fake hotepper. And I could never get into Kendrick music, just him as, I don't know him, but just as a media personality, I just find him phony.
Okay.
So, yeah. And Drake, he owns it. Yes. His tunes are popish. It's about emotions and stuff like that. And, how he was in love or played the field. Women love that. So, yes, he reminds me of a modern day LL Cool J.
Oh. Okay. So you're overlooking his history of, questionable relationships. I pointed out to you earlier, for those who maybe didn't know, the 14-year-old Millie Bobby Brown back in 2018, she said, I love him. We text every day. You're not interested in that.
No, I'm not. Here's why. Because listen, he could have been her mentor. She probably, want to be in the industry, and he's texting her every day as a mentor. Her parents probably scan the text, as they should. So it could have been under the parental supervision. So no, I'm not going to hold that against him. We don't know what was in that text. And for Kendrick, again.
Wait. Did you say the parents probably scanned the text? You don't know for certain. You're just saying that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying could have. I don't know.
Come on.
They should. they should, but it could have been texting her as a mentor. Yeah. Listen, I consider you a mentor, but yes, that is.
Go ahead.
But you could be a mentor of the opposite sex and it just be professional. So that's probably what it was. I don't know. But for Kendrick to stoop that low, everybody has some shadiness in their past. We're all guilty of that. But to throw that out there at this, what's happening now in society, that was below the belt.
Mm. So why didn't he stop after beefing with Pusha T? Oh, my nigga. Listen, I used to give Pusha T hell when he was with the Clips, his brother. But, his solo efforts have been fire. And, after Drake bowed out because Pusha brought up his kids, why did Drake even bother with Kendrick? Deed says it's widely believed that Kendrick's verse on Control in 2012 started the beef. You know this to be true?
I don't know. A lot of times I don't dissect the lyrics on what they mean. Right. But that's one of my favorite albums. But however, just getting back real quick to the Pusha T,
wait a minute.
I will say this about.
I'm sorry, Florida Boy J talking a little spicy. Do you and him have issues? He said, I got to get at Dana. Do you want to talk to him, Dana, or no? Let me finish up.
I kind of don't. I got to get prepared. I got to get the energy from my experts, but I don't have an issue with Florida Boy Jay. Now maybe he, I struck a nerve because he didn't like something I said, and that's fine. But I'm not in the mood for back and forth.
Gosh, okay. And he was trying to holler at you once upon a time, to be clear, if I remember correctly.
Yes, he did. Yes.
Okay. Go ahead. Let's go.
I will say this. As far as the Pusha T beef, this is one thing about Drake. He wants to see everybody eat. He was actually doing Pusha T a favor by even indulging. Yes, because that helped Pusha T album sell. It helped his single hit the charts. A lot of times when you get in the dirt with people, when you're up here, but you bring yourself down to get in the mud, it helps the people down below. It helps bring them up a little bit. So that's charity work. Sometimes, you taking on, Yeah, you taking on a chin and check. Listen, Kendrick was quiet until this beef with Drake. Again, charity work, but then he took advantage of that charity. So now here comes the legal paperwork. And then one last thing. Drake is not a Michael Jackson because, yes, he is part of the small hat. So he is well protected.
Wow. Okay. Well, listen, I think you've landed your plane. I respect your position. So good to talk to you, Dana.
All right. Same here.
Bye now. Okay.
Bye-bye.
I fuck with Dana. Heavy. We were talking earlier today, and I said, Dana, do you know about, 14-year-old Millie Bobby Brown? She said, boy, I don't want to hear that. Hold on a second. Photo Boy Jay, can you hang on 1 second, sir? I'll be right with you. FBJ, sit tight. Okay. The rise and fall of Aubrey Graham, a.k.a. Drake, the Sixth God. Ricky Dredd, are you out there? From We Love Hip Hop in Canada. Ricky Dredd. That would be a good person to talk to this evening, all right? Guys, showrunner, let me put the Zelle information there if you want to support the machine, and I hope that you do. Everyone doesn't use Cash App or PayPal, okay? I'm going to try and get to as many messages as I can this evening, but make no mistake about it, I am here to kick this nigga's back in. Drake. Again, I can respect, a cease and desist. I can even respect a lawsuit to, slow some people down, but this is going in on this is biting the hand that feeds you. And again, in this second petition, he's asking for depositions. So he wants to get the process rolling with discovery. He wants to find out who has been involved. Does anybody respect his approach? I'm sure that you do. Hang on a second. There he is, Photo Boy Jay. Thank you for your time. Are you there, FBJ?
President of the Real Nigga Association of Black Americans, Star. I am here.
How are you?
Man, listen, dog, I gotta salute you for, sparing the nigga tonight. I appreciate it, you know what I'm saying? Made me ain't want no smoke. And I like Dana. Yeah. Dana be cool, but this is exactly why R. Kelly got away for years. Ooh. Stop asking black women about moral compass questions, because clearly they have none and they're just as lost as a mouse with no eyes. Here we have to go, Star. You ask this nigga about what about him, allegedly being around certain underage people, and she couldn't even objectively tell you that, that's just inappropriate at least, But I don't got, like I said.
Well, let's not focus on Dana. She's not on the line.
No.
She's
We're
not.
We're not. All I'm saying was I'm just a little disappointed in that perspective. Now to move on with the situation at hand,
the petitions. Petitions.
Yeah, with the situation. Who is this nigga? Is he about to drop for all the lawyers? Kendrick said sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas, and he popping out and suing niggas, bro. Like, what is he got an album for all the lawyers? Like, I am so elated to see this nigga turn into a full Karen. Let's talk about how you want to sue the same people who've been gassing your numbers to astronomical levels artificially for years.
Right.
Let's talk about your old label mate, Nicki Minaj, telling Spotify, why are you placing Drake in non-rap album-related suggestion categories, but straddling my music because I streamed it 10 minutes early before it dropped on Apple?
Yeah.
So why are we supposed to stand neck? And please, no more comparisons to Michael Jackson, because when Michael Jackson bought the Beatles catalog, amongst other catalogs, he used that money in compound interest to give Sly the Family Stone their masters, Beyonce their masters, a bunch of other black artists who could not get their masters anywhere else. Michael Jackson took over to give back to black artists. He did not take over to be a monopoly of black artists. And
good point. And let me just say, Michael Jackson is he's loved still by many people, including me. And I was just making the comparison in a sense to that the fact that Drake is now going up against this faceless monster. That's all. But Michael Jackson did go 10 toes down. He put out a track. They don't really care about us. That's the only thing that really I wanted to mention. But okay, you were saying?
Yeah, even when niggas want to clown and talk about, oh, well, he's trying to fight for the art. To me, he's more of a Prince in this category of fighting the label with Warner Brothers than Mike fighting Sony. You know what I'm saying? Prince was also fighting for equity, but Prince was kind of still like, Prince signed a bad $100 million deal, remember back in the day, because he wanted to be the first artist with that headline. Same with Drake. You want that headline, and you're going to sign whatever crap deal that it takes to get that headline. And when the deal is inflated interest and fluff and metrics that they manipulate, right? And you realize you just signed a slave contract, now you want to be a martyr. Now you want to drop 100 gigs. Now you want to be anti-industry. But you just said a year ago you and Lucian Grange are like Shaq and Phil. So which one is it? Uchi Wally or One Mike?
Okay. Can I ask you, where is your homie Aaron? Is Aaron available tonight? He called in the other night and he was kicking Kendrick's back in. Have you spoke to Aaron about the petitions filed by Drake?
We spoke earlier. He said he was looking for you to call in last night, and then he sent me the link. And listen, Star. Then he sent me the link the same time you hit me up, like at back to back about the second lawsuit. So I'm pretty sure he's probably about to call in, or getting ready to call in, because we are kicking this biracial niggas back in, and I need all my biracial Drake supporters to come in and wave the flag. Academics, he tried to explain it away, but at the end of the day, you can't explain away you can't explain away you saying that Kendrick got touched inappropriately
Let me jump in right there for a second. Salute to academics, but I have not gone to his channel in maybe a month or more. I know he was and probably still is a huge Drake supporter. Has Drake ever done a live stream with academics the way, he got on the guy from Canada, I forget his name, a white guy with the blonde hair. Has Drake ever sat down with academics and done a stream with him live?
Absolutely not. And no diss to act, but the day Drake sits down with academics live on camera is when Drake is officially done.
Why would you say that?
I would say that because with all that academics has done for Drake, with everything he has ran interference, even, put certain stains on his platform because he stood so next to Drake. When his head gets blown off, academic got blown on his shirt. And for Drake to keep going on these obscure, lesser known platforms to jerk off with some obscure. Now, I'm not saying anything about these streamers, but you don't even show love to the nigga who shows love to you. You call in Kai that stream on your night where, you drop your album. You got to show acts of love. I'm keeping it real.
Drake called in the Kai Cenat?
Yeah. Ain't calling the act that night.
Okay.
And he won't get seen with act, won't give act an interview. All act keeps saying is, well, I heard sources or Drake sent me a message. We don't know if Drake's calling him directly or Drake has a buffer person.
Well, let me just say this. I support academics still, and he is, one of the...
Yeah, I do too. That's why I'm saying this. Yeah.
He's one of the guys who people should go to with regards to Drake filing the lawsuits, the petitions that are legal documents. Okay, let's get back to...
And he mentioned him in the lawsuit. In the first lawsuit, he mentioned academics.
Yeah.
Don't you think we should be sitting down with act? Goddamn.
Okay. Hey, let's pivot here for a second. All right, so with regards to the defamation and the second petition, for those of you who don't know, these are in my community section. They're on a Google Drive. You can just download them for yourselves. Their PDF files are huge. What do you think about his claims with regards to, being classified as a pedo and UMG allowing this to be put out there? What do you think about that?
I love this lawsuit because just like the first one, it shows how much Drake is I'm going to take my ball and go home ass nigga, how contradictory he is, and how he's a nigga when you start beating in Mortal Kombat with the same combo, he just rips the controller out so hard, the game flies out. And then you both get your ass whooped because grandma ain't having that. See, I think that what he did is funny because I didn't see anybody filing suits against you. Like I said before, when you said Drake when you said Kendrick's kid was from Day Free, I didn't see you put any defamation suits out when you got these diss bars coming at people. I don't see you putting defamation bars out when you mention women's names in songs that are easily findable. You have defamed people your whole career. I didn't see Common come out when you defamed him. I didn't see none of the people, even Drake, mentioned by name. I didn't see Meek Mill file a suit. I didn't see Future file a suit. I didn't see none of these people. I didn't see Rick Ross file a suit. I didn't see all these people Drake has defamed. And Drake, knowing the power he has when he says your name in a diss, Joe Budden included, when he says your name in a diss, that does financially, monetarily affect the person that Drake is talking against. And none of these people who've had livelihoods taken away based off what Drake either said true or untrue on songs have never went to court and sued him. But because your song wasn't bigger than his, you told him to come out. He shot you. You tried to shoot back your gun jam. Now you went to the police.
Yeah,
that's what we're looking at.
Yeah. I mean, again, this type of legal action, it just speaks to his character, if you ask me. Just, sometimes you have to take your L and go home. You can't just always want to finish the game, so to speak. Sometimes you have to say, you know what, it was a good exchange. When did he and Kendrick Lamar stop speaking? I'm curious to know. Because Drake went really,
I'm pretty sure
Drake went really hard, but when this feud first took place, he put out, was it 2 or 3 tracks, and Kendrick didn't even respond. When did they officially stop speaking and communicating?
You talk through records or just like professionally?
I guess
professionally,
just on the phone or texting, because there was a point from what I remember when they just stopped.
It was after the Control verse, but what really sealed it is days after the Control verse. They were all sitting in front center at the BT Awards, and they had the cipher. And Kendrick put the exclamation point on the Control verse when he was like, "Nothing was the same since I took the little sensitive rapper back in his pajama pajama clothes." And basically, the whole freestyle was him basically putting headshots to Drake. That's what officially ended it, because that's when Drake went on the run at Angie Martinez. Nobody's going to remember the Control verse 10 years from now. That was just a moment. Yet we're still talking about Control verse to this day.
Right.
That was the official disconnect between the two artists.
Okay. All right. So listen, I'm combing through more of the complaint here. Anything you want to point out to us or to the listening audience that has not been brought to the attention yet? Because UMG did respond, for those who don't know, and they are rejecting Drake's claims. And as I said, this is a corporate battle now. There's no one person there's no 2 people that is even going to respond to Drake, because everything is could be used for evidence. Text messages, phone calls.
Yeah.
What are your final thoughts, Little Boy J?
My final thoughts are just 2 things. Number one, the best thing about Drake being biracial and not being raised around black people is you don't know. You don't have black spidey senses when you know the jig is around the corner, when the ops got their eyes on you, when the room is a setup. See, he still thinks he's white. So what he's doing is doing something niggas ain't going to do, because we just see what happened to Diddy, and we see what happens when people try to sue faceless entities. That's when the boy comes out. See, now this is when the boy comes out. Star. This is the moment. A boy's gonna pop out soon. Word to partyism. A boy's about to pop out soon, Star. And my peekaboo. See, Kendrick be dropping bars.
Okay.
And secondly, and last point is this: you accuse niggas of domestic violence, being inappropriately touched, having his girl sleep with his best friend, but you're suing the same people who let you put out record after record, slandering people, and boosted those records, use the same bot to boost those records. Yeah. So all I'm saying is the pot's on the kettle black, and the boys popping out soon, Star. I'm signing off.
All right. Good to talk to you. Thank you. All right. Florida Boy J. John Blaze, sit tight, sir. You're in the queue. I see you. John Blaze, hang on. Plaque the Father sends in a PayPal donation. Hold on. Drake channeling his inner small hat. Pay attention. Okay. Mob Ruther says, Star, I know you don't like to go back, but Janet was advocating for city girl behavior the other night. Okay, I don't remember, sir. And Janet, thank you. I got your emails earlier. Janet was sending me some information with regards to Drizzy, along with a bunch of other people. And in my community section are those legal petitions. You can see them. Someone claiming to be Dre Bars sent in a donation. Yo, Star, I told you 8 years ago Aubrey was fake, and you hung up on me. He ain't no six god, and he's an agent. You owe me. I'm the real Toronto six god. I didn't hang up on you, if I remember correctly. But good to hear from you, man. It's somebody pretending to be Dre Bars. Folks, if you're just now joining me, this is what we're talking about tonight. These two legal petitions. There's others to come. And I'm going to have some other folks chiming in. Let me also take this time to say, please check out Chigs Smooth on YouTube. I say again, Chigs Smooth, always up to the minute. And he has some great content with regards to Drake's past, present, and future. Salute to Rory from Rory and Mal. Rory put out a video, I think it was on Instagram Live, and he was making reference to his knowledge about Spotify. I don't remember verbatim what he said, but please check out Rory as well from Rory and Mal, all right? Let me go to John Blaze. John Blaze, thank you for your patience, man. Are you tapping in on the legal proceedings that are about to take place in front of us?
Hey, salute, big nigga.
Yes.
I was actually I'm working on some research with this case and was hoping I can do some content. Sure. But the inner me misses the days of the 90s to which we can possibly see a body. I hate to put it there, because when we look at the history of where I grew up with in the 90s, when Biggie Smalls and when Pac passed, it was a bit of big news. These other rappers who are dying, I can't keep track of them. But when you look at the dynamics involved with this particular case, Drake's attorneys accused UMG of violating a racketeer influence and corrupt organizations with the RICO Act, which is often used against involving organized crime. Now, this is going to be a problem for Drake. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Because of who he is actually accusing a RICO against. Now, the dynamics of the politics of skin color, for me, plays a big part in this, because Drake demonstrates the dominant narratives through the blackface, to which we know him for. A lot of us do, not everybody. A lot of the females know him for, the song and dance. But when you look at the dual heritage of Drake, stemming from a African-American father and a mom who is perhaps the small hat Canadian mother, is a bit of there's a bit of a protection around Drake. Nobody gonna touch Drake. Now, I do hope to see one day there is violence, because this would really gives us a real big idea on the condition, the state of hip hop, I guess you can say. Because for me, actually, hip hop only demonstrates now a facade. It is a minstrel show for me. The real physical violence of hip hop was in the 90s, because they acted on it. Me personally, I enjoy it because I'm just a spectator. I'm not somebody who is enjoying somebody to lose their life, but for me, I can't separate what's entertainment on my computer screen from reality sometimes. Right. And for me, when I look at these individual realities, these songs to which the real lyrics come to life onto the streets, I miss it. It don't happen no more, because if Drake, the individual who is the predominant figure in hip hop right now, loses to someone off the streets, that's a different narrative for itself now, because now we have him not just getting this black dude who was involved with the Bloods down in Compton into a RICO case. This is a big problem. Just remember, and I won't.
If I can jump in for a second, John Blaze, if I can jump in. The RICO charges in the petition could run very, very deep. Do you think that Drake, his life now may be in danger in a sense? He's accusing this huge corporation, worldwide corporation, of wrongdoing, and as you just said, this RICO acts. Do you think his life now might be in danger?
Drake's life is in complete danger right now, because now that this individual, Kendrick Lamar, is a commodity. He's not just a rapper. We have a lot of billions of dollars involved now. So when we look at how Drake is now doubling down on his ongoing legal war against Kendrick Lamar, now he's filing new legal action in Texas that alleges Universal Music Group knowingly allowed Kendrick Lamar to call him a certified PDF. Yeah. I ain't gonna say it on there.
A gang member.
Right, but this
he's making reference. He's making reference to Kendrick now, as being a gang member. So he's really taking it there.
He's took it there. Now we gonna see there's gonna be some real smoke and fire on these streets. Now Drake, we knew he's not gonna come back to LA. Now you have to remember on May 7th, the security guard got shot outside of Drake's Toronto mega mansion. Now who did it? I don't know. Because what we do know is now the physical violence is now driving the consumer hysteria. You see what I'm saying? Because we have huge corporations involved here. Drake has got to get himself into a real reality and understands that now you are getting these certain entities that's involved. You're gonna make sure you, for one, stay out of Vegas. For two, stay out of LA. He has no other choice at times if you're going. That's where his money is at, unless you're gonna do tours all his life. But Drake, like I mentioned, is put himself in a issue with UMG, to which now they're getting a group, not just Kendrick Lamar, but groups who are affiliated with certain groups in LA. All we can beg and plead is for another body. That's all. I can't say. I can't say no more.
Hey man, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
I reached out to you about a week or so ago. Let's circle back on that other conversation about Terrence Howard. I didn't go through it.
I missed that research show. Yeah. Absolutely.
Thank you, man. Thank you, John Blaze.
Salute.
Yes, sir. Okay, salute. John Blaze going 10 toes down as always. Okay, guys, hold on one second. I just wanted to research something real fast here. Phone lines are open. Just bear with me. I have a question. Maybe Aaron or someone else can answer this. Anybody know when is Drake's contract up with UMG? Might he be trying to do all of this to go to Warner Music Group or Sony? Might there be some type of play here? I don't know. No. Northeast, I got you donation. Star Dana was tripping. Kendrick literally just came off the highest grossing tour ever for a solo rap artist. Okay. Elvis the Chef Rosenberg, I got your donation. Are you tapping in, Elvis? Okay, I did speak with John Blaze. Thank you. Okay. Blade, good to hear from you. Hey, Lorna. Lorna says LL has real lyrics and muscles. No comparisons. Okay. Oh, wow. Blade talking really crazy about Drake. Someone sent me something. What is it? Spotify put Drake's face on me playing this, but told me they'd have to teach me a lesson for playing. Guys, is Nicki Minaj taking shots at Drake? I'll come back to that. I'm not sure. We're talking about the petitions that are in my community section again, the breakdowns of them and what these are going to mean to Drake moving forward. I think it's a wrap for his career at this point in time because they're going to show him just how dirty they can play. Let me ask you, does he even need radio airplay at this point in time? He hasn't been the most person, the biggest supporter of the Grammys and these other award ceremonies anyway, right? Isn't he kind of past that? Does that really still even mean anything to him at this point in his career? Wait a minute. I think this is Al. Is that Al tapping in from Little Haiti, area code 786? Al?
Yo, what's going on, Star?
Hey, man, good to hear from you. You have the floor, sir.
Oh, just wanted to touch on the topic with Drake. His contract is actually up April 11, 2025, if I'm not mistaken. He did sign a $400 contract with UMG.
Right.
But My issue with Drake is this.
400 million?
A while ago.
You said 400 million?
Yeah, he said, if I'm not mistaken, it was a $400 million contract.
Okay.
With certain specs that have to be met.
Right.
So one of the things was that he had to continue be one of the leading artists on the label, which he's currently not, if I'm not mistaken, because Kendrick Lamar album actually hit record high with Spotify as one of the most streamed music, if not this, surpassing Tupac, Hit 'Em Up. But just to touch on the essence of hip hop / rap culture / this beef that's going on. KRS-One once said that I got a rap diss for all the top tier rappers that are out right now. Now, if one of the founding fathers of hip hop stated that he has a rap diss in the wait for any artist that is currently on the media platform, why do Drake feel a certain way that he was pretty much mollywopped in front of the whole world? Drake has been the symbol of success for a long time throughout this media platform. And right now, Drake is acting real light-skinned. And this is what I mean by that. When everything, he acting real light-skinned. And the thing that's the issue right now is that you called out several rappers in the past. You called out Common. You gave Common the business with Stay Scheming. You called out Rick Ross and gave Rick Ross the business. Now I felt a certain way because I'm from Miami, even though I'm not from Carroll City, but I still rep Dade County. If anybody who know Miami dudes is Miami, then it's the rest of Florida. No disrespect to nobody in Florida, but that's just our mentality. Right. So when he dissed Ross, I felt a certain way, and I always had a different view on Drake. Now, this is coming from somebody who really don't like Kendrick Lamar. I don't like him. I don't like his cadence. I don't like his tone, but his context, I have to respect it. Okay. He gave us a pure demonstration on how you handle a actor who's perpetrating as a rapper. See, we forgot that Drake is a part of this acting culture that know how to put on a role, that know how to get into character and to perpetrate of whatever figure they want to be, whether they want to be a dope boy, whether they want to be a Prince Charming individual to the females. Right. You got people like, no disrespect to Dana, no disrespect to you, sweetheart, but you got people like Dana out here who will look to the side of Drake's history of objectifying, sexualizing younger females.
Can we not bring Dana into this? You know, she
No, I mean, I got all respect for Dana. Look, Dana, look, I don't want no beef, little mama. I was just I'm just relating some information real quick. Okay. But we have a history of people just looking past on certain things and allowing behavior to happen. Now this is all I'm saying, right? If hip hop is built off the streets, right? If hip hop is built off just jonesing, taking shots at people, ranking. If you telling your mama jokes, you're supposed to be able to take the hit and deliver it. If you can't deliver it that day, you work on your material and you come back to the platform. What Drake doing? Just like Florida boy Jay said, he taking his basketball and saying, I don't want to play no more, and nobody deserves to play. Right. And you want to sue the people that you in bed with. Now, see, this is a crisis. This is an issue that Drake having right now with this identity crisis. You want to be black in one sense and start a beat. But when you get hit in the mouth and you don't know what to do, you want to throw on your small hat and say, well, I think we should take a step back, guys, and follow. Yeah, like F out of here. Right. Like I got no respect for that. Yeah, and even with the things that are being put in place, like Kendrick Lamar.
If I can jump in for a second, Al, I have to agree with you, man, with regards to Kendrick Lamar's cadence and his overall style. I have not been a supporter, but I wasn't hating on the guy. I just said, I can't.
Yeah, it's just not my cup of tea.
It's not my cup of tea.
On that.
But I really
Yeah,
liked when he came out with not Like Us. And I said, oh, okay. It's got that real West Coast Cali bounce, DJ Mustard.
And this is where I'm trying to get.
It was the
and
death
that's
blow.
exactly.
It was the death blow.
It was a death blow. Like Kendrick Lamar is a real anomaly out here for most people. Like he's a rare individual that most people don't know. You got a humble individual, almost a hermit crab in a violent environment. Like the Nickerson Gardens is a extremely violent environment. They operate on what would be considered, what was that? I forget where it's at, but it's in the inner city, outside of Compton. Watts is in Watts. They even call each other by saying "Watts up." They don't even say "What's up" or "What's happening." They say "Watts up," and they're against almost every other city. You got somebody who's within that culture who most would consider a outcast in his own element. But he's still with the foolishness. Like, this is what I respect about him. You called him out. You said that his children are not his children. You tried to cause a rift in his marital relationship. Yeah. I got no respect for nobody coming against somebody's marriage, because this man is a family man. He got his kids, and then you want to diss his wife saying his kids are not his. They belong to the free. Okay, all right.
That was crazy, and this is why I'm saying that the second petition, defamation, it's not going to stand. I mean, and
it's not going to stand.
I'll let you finish up and land your plane out, but I just wanted to say I think that this is a bad move on Drake's part, business-wise, and I also think that he is trying to censor the halftime show. I think he's so out of control. He's so power drunk. He may even send a cease and desist to the NFL about that pedo line. If you allow that, I will sue you. Go ahead and finish up, please.
And the funny part is Drake is committing career suicide. You got no more respect, not even from the people who appreciate the culture at its essence. Drake, you need to kill yourself and stop acting light-skinned, sucker.
All right. Thank you, man. Good to talk to you. Yes, sir. Oh, okay. All right. He didn't literally mean Drake needs to kill himself, because Drake is suing people. Oh, my goodness. Guys, sit tight on the phones. I'm coming to you. But in that phone queue, I need to ask you guys to hit the like button, share this live. Please don't be sitting in there and you're broke and you've never supported the machine, okay? With regards to the Super Bowl, if I can just shift gears here for a second. I would be curious to know if he, again, is going to send a cease and desist to the NFL about the upcoming halftime show. Let me look in the live chat real quick. Anybody got any intel on that? Has Stephen A. Smith spoke about this? He does a lot of celebrity news now. DB, I got your donation. I speculate that this is an attempt to derail the Super Bowl. Yes, we said that already, sir. To derail the Super Bowl. Moment that would would up the level of embarrassment for Drake, okay? It's so funny you said that, sir, but this is what we were just talking about. Thank you for your donation, DB. Ian, I got your donation. Drake had to either fight him or the legal route. Kendrick's very short, man. I don't think Kendrick's even on that type of time. Not saying he doesn't have the heart, but it's just battling. Terrence says UMG used Kendrick to destroy Drake in negotiations. Okay. And it really didn't even have to be that much of a collective effort. It's just something that somebody could have said, hey, why don't we give Kendrick some burn and see what happens? Yeah, I agree with that. Thank you, man, for your donation. Guys, also, showrunner, this sushi restaurant in Seattle, I'm not going to say the name. They were forced to close 2 locations, if you care. Salute to Keith Lee, the food critic. I like what he does. He travels. He gives these reviews, and he helps people. Restaurants. And guys, remember where was that when he went to some food truck, helped this woman like quadruple her customers, And then they started fighting because the money started coming in. Craziness. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. White boy Rory, the white Denzel. I just need you to watch the language. Are you there, Rory?
Yeah. What's up, homeboy?
Peace. What's up, man? How are you?
Everything's good. I'm great. Everything's good. You know, it's cool to be white again. And, we're getting ready to celebrate the colonizer holiday, right?
Okay.
Getting ready to celebrate the colonizer holiday. 'Tis the season, you know. The holiday season is upon us, so things are in full swing. Everything is good. The country looking good, you know. Sir, can I give a little public service announcement to the illegal immigrants in the country?
Well,
real quick?
hang on a second. You're in New York, and I want to focus on Drake, man, and we can come back to the migrants, illegals. It's crazy up in New York. I know you got a lot going on. Can we just get right to Drake? Are you familiar with the petitions?
Yeah, no doubt.
Please?
Yeah, Drake is doing his thing. I got to be honest, Drake is doing his thing. I mean, small hats, they don't fight. They don't do drive-bys. They do litigation. They litigate. You know, you're supposed to be Kendrick Lamar is corny, man. Kendrick Lamar is corny as hell. Wow. He ain't no chess moves out there. They're not tough like that. They're not smart like that. They're a bunch of nickel and dime ass gangbangers. And this guy, Kendrick Lamar, you know, you want to talk about a fraud. Everybody's saying Drake's a fraud. Drake's a culture vulture. What about Kendrick Lamar? You know, this kid never even been to the county jail, but he wanted to be on some Compton, some sort of affiliated blood from Compton. You never even been to county jail, bro. You never mind doing anything. You never put on for any set, you know, and you push this like quasi corny black power stuff. Where's it at? Not like us. Not like who? Not like a fake gangbanger? Not like a fake LA gangbanger? Not like a really good kid in a mad city? Fake like who? You know? Not like us like who? Not like what? Not like what? You know, if you want to be a gangster rapper, part of it is you got to be a gangster. You got to put on a little bit. You got to have a bunch of people from where your neighborhood's from. Like, no. He don't play around. He really gets busy.
If I can jump in for a second, Rory, and ask, are you taking Drake's side because he's half Caucasian? Seriously.
Hell yeah, I'm taking Drake's side. The only thing I'm mad at Drake about is that he didn't come back after, not like us, with a diss about Kendrick Lamar being black. That's what he should have did. Not like us, okay, cool. I'm not like you. But I can still do this hip-hop thing. Hip-hop ain't yours anymore. You know? Like, if I was him, I would have did a freestyle. You know, that's the whole thing. Drake held back. That was his biggest downfall, his biggest regret after Not Like Us. He should have said, oh, okay, you want to talk about some racial stuff? You want to say some? I'll come back with a diss track dissing you for being black.
Okay, I want to jump in for a second. You know, I appreciate your perspective, and thank you for keeping the language clean. So, with regards to Kendrick Lamar, not that I have to speak to his character, if you will, but because he's never been to the penitentiary, he's never squeezed the trigger, you say he's not really a G, right?
That's definitely not a G. He's definitely not a G. I mean, how could you claim to be?
Have you heard of the name Meyer Lansky? Slow down. And you got to fix the echo in the background, please. It's echoing. Make the adjustments.
I got you.
You ready? Are you ready?
Yeah, Meyer Lansky.
Meyer Lansky. Was he a gangster?
A real gangster.
Was he a gangster?
Yeah, he's a gangster.
Okay. Did he ever squeeze the trigger, go to the penitentiary? And he wasn't Italian. You know that, right? He wasn't Italian.
How many people worked for Mylansky, and what was his accumulation of wealth outside of regular work?
Tell me, he put together.
He's a gangster.
He and Lucky.
He's a gangster.
Hang on. Well, he's gone. He's dead. But he and Lucky Luciano, who was Italian, they put together the quote unquote mafia, Cosa Nostra, here in America. But Meyer Lansky wasn't out there blasting. I'm just trying to say, with regards to Kendrick, that's not some official card. Oh, he's been to the penitentiary. He caught bodies. I can't sit here at 60 years of age and say that makes him a G. I know where you're going. You and I are friends, but I can't necessarily act like because Kendrick hasn't laid people down, that him financing and elevating people is not credible. If you know what I'm talking about, go ahead.
That was the whole point of his diss record. That was the whole point of his diss record.
Yeah.
You're not tough like us. You're not black like us.
Yeah.
That was the whole point. If you listen to it, that was the whole point of his diss record.
I listened to it, and that's my point. That's my point. It's my point.
So you can't be playing one side. You just as lame as much of a square as Drake. You just as much of a square as Drake. There's nothing different between the two of you. There's nothing different. You weren't in the street. You didn't do anything like that. You write rhymes. Drake is writing rhymes. Another thing about all the black people.
You just proved my point, but go ahead.
To the culture.
Just remember what point?
Who let Drake into the culture? Who accepted Drake into the culture? Who's the biggest consumers? We always hear this. The biggest consumers, the power of consumerism. Who's the biggest consumers that let Drake into the country and made him become what he was when everybody else was not feeling him back in the day? Right? Who's the ones? It was Black America. Now all of a sudden they turning on him, because he wants to get some lawyers involved. He's a small hat. He's been a small hat. They don't fight. They don't do stuff like that. They litigate.
Listen, Rory, I gotta jump in because truthfully, it's like you're moving the goalpost now. Let's focus on the petitions. The petitions. So you're in support. You say it's okay that Drake is suing UMG, Spotify. He wants to bring iHeart into all sorts of accusations, depositions. You support this?
I totally support that. Okay. And he filed the lawsuit in New York, and Trump just is going to put a new DA in New York, a federal DA. So I support that 100%.
Okay.
I think Kendrick Lamar is a phony. He's corny. I don't know why he gets all these props. You know what I mean? Like he's a fake dude. He's not a good rapper. The diss song wasn't good.
Gotcha.
I don't know where A minor. He's corny, man. It's like if the media says something, right. Then people are like, oh, okay. Oh, that was hard. Okay. Oh, that went hard. Not like us. These are the same people in California, these corny California dudes. These are the same people that were voting for Kamala Harris. Not like us. Is she anything like you? She's an Indian. She's an Indian.
All right, Rory, I got to shift gears, man. I appreciate the call. Good to talk to you. All right, salute. Okay, white boy Rory tapping in. Guys, the rise and fall of Aubrey Graham, that's my title, a.k.a. Drake, the Sixth God. Is Ricky Dredd anywhere around? Ricky Dredd, let me see if I can email him. Hold on. Let's see. Anybody? Maybe it's We Love. What is his email address? Here we go. I think so. About Drake. Hey guys, I also want to ask, I don't want to bother Deeds. Deeds is doing a lot right now. Rapper Game, has he been ordered to move out of his house by a judge? His home in Calabasas? Someone sent me an email, but I did not see an actual link to the story. Remember Game talking about I'll never pay nobody in a lawsuit? Well, if that story is true, but he's gonna move up out of the house, sheesh. He's about to pay that girl in that $7 million tab. Holy smokes. Fake yard nigga, I got your donation. Google the paperwork. Star, the facts are the facts. I ain't no snitch. Okay, this guy's trolling. What am I, a storyteller now? Were you? Okay, you want to call in, sir? I got your donation. Fake yard nigga. Thank you so much, man. Hey, Lisa, how are you? Okay, Lisa, you're from California and you ride with Drake. Okay. I'm here to kick his back in. Make no mistake about it. I think that he is now biting the hand that fed him and has made him wealthy. I think he's in his feelings. I think this is a bad look. And I would be shocked if people around Drake don't necessarily start coming out and making videos and trying to expose him. Because, you know, his money's long. I'm sure he won't go broke behind this, but he's going to have to downsize at some point and do things. As you get older, that's what people do anyway. You know, they stop the bleeding in a sense, okay? Thank you, Code Red. I got your email. I'm going to read that in a second here. Let me bring in area code. Oh, I think this is Ecuador. Hold on. Ecuador, is that you, man, tapping in on a Tuesday night? 760. Ecuador.
Hey, what's up? Man?
Hey, man, good to hear from you. What's cracking?
Hey, let me apologize. Last time I called in, I was wasted, man.
Yeah. Yes, and
it was funny.
We recorded you, and we're not doing any edits. But good to hear from you. What's cracking?
Yeah.
Nothing,
man. I think this is like this story is crazy because it has so many different angles. What I find like most interesting is that both Kendrick and Drake are both signed to UMG.
Yeah,
and I kind of get Drake's point. I think the main reason why he's taking it to the next step of actually suing UMG is because it's not that he lost a rap battle. They literally push a narrative that he's a pedophile, and that literally affects every other brand deal that he's gonna get in the future. You know how much I know Drake has like a specific deal with Nike, and he has his own line, like stuff like that will get affected. And you know, people. One thing I saw him yesterday or like 2 days ago, he was in a live stream, and he said that if you're gonna come after him, you have to come with facts, not fairy tales.
Yeah, not fairy. Yeah, whatever you said. Fairy tales.
So I mean, and I understand why he's mad, because at the end of the day, like, he's like the big dog in UMG. So, well, the only thing I can think of is like UMG is trying to like bring his stock down so that when he comes to re-signing a deal, they can get him for cheap. And at the same time, because they own,
it's called business.
Artists under.
It's called business. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, man. Let's see how it plays out.
Well, hang on a second. Stay with me. You are entitled to your opinion, and you know, I appreciate you calling in. But now, you know, Drake has had a run like everybody else has had a run. He has been doing the most. And I was disturbed back in 2018 when that little 14-year-old white girl, Millie Bobby Brown, was on the red carpet at the Emmys, and she said, "I love him." Talking about Drake, we text every day. That type of behavior is concerning. It was concerning then, but the whole Me Too movement hadn't really popped off yet, or I forget where it was in 2018, but that was concerning, and he was insulated. That was overlooked. What do you think about that? So here he is now complaining, talking about the word, but don't repeat that word again because I want to monetize this.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
You know, but here he is now complaining. Why didn't he stop after the Pusha T beef? Well, why kick up dust with Kendrick? If that's not what you want to do after Pusha T got at your kids, why just leave it alone? Battling's not for you.
Yeah, I mean that's true. Like that was definitely like a bad strategy from Drake.
Yeah.
When you're at the top like he is, like you can't do any goofy stuff like that. Like even though I know 100%, it's just like probably they're running the same industry. He likes the show. Probably nothing weird because like she was literally a kid. But you know how it's gonna look. It's like I see. It's almost like the politicians. If you want to fight the system, you first have to make sure that everything in your house is in order because they're gonna look for every chink in the armor to like take you down. So yes, I don't think he should be like, even if he's trying to be nice, even if he was, obviously it wasn't nothing crazy, but it just looks bad. He shouldn't do that.
Let me jump in for a second, Ecuador. According to Wikipedia, the Me Too movement started out in Me Too was initially used in this context on social media in 2006. By 2017, it was in full swing. In 2018, they were in the streets of New York. Can you hear me now? Hashtag Me Too. So his ass should have got some real smoke back in 2018 when that 14-year-old white girl said what she said about him texting her every day. But he was protected, if you know what I mean. And now, now it's shine time. Go ahead. It's shine time.
Talking about the Me Too movement, he's never been accused of like even being aggressive towards females. So, that looked bad, but I don't think I've ever seen not even like false accusations against him. So in that case, he's being.
I think you're missing the point. Okay. A 14-year-old girl.
Yeah, I know. It looks bad.
Spoke up and said, we text every day. I love. Why wasn't there some type of investigation? Why was that brushed aside? But I tell you what, that's going to come up now with this defamation case. Go ahead.
Yeah, I do think, I do think they pay for bots, but I think everybody does that. I think he's just taking this personally because the narrative about him. But everybody, I mean, if you listen to academics, he explain literally every artist literally buys views, bots, and it's just a matter of like what's the degree they do it to. You said something about Drake is already on his way out.
Well, hang on a second. I support academics, but I haven't seen him talk about this particular subject yet. But now here's the thing. I asked a question since you brought him up. I asked, has Drake ever done a live stream with academics? Has he? I haven't seen it.
No, never.
Okay.
Never.
Have you ever heard of a guy named Lil Boom?
Oh, yeah. I know.
Don't say what he did. Lil Boom.
Yes.
That was one of academics, his boys.
That's the number one.
He co-signed him.
Yes.
And do you know how that guy went down in flames?
Yeah, at the Walmart.
Yeah. Don't mention what he did, okay? But if they want to push the issue, UMG with this defamation claim, they may try and this could be a reach here. But I'm just saying, Drake is he's playing a dangerous game. But go ahead, finish up. Go ahead.
Yes. I'll just finish up with I'm just interested. Besides this, you were mentioning about his age. Yeah, man, he's like all these rappers are about to turn 40, and it's just weird when they dress like young guys and they rap about young guys stuff. It's just I don't know what his next step is going to be, but it'll be interesting to see.
Good to talk to you, Ecuador. Thank you for tapping in.
Yeah, man, great show. Have a good one.
Thank you, man. Ecuador tapping in. He's a good sport. He called in the other night. He was kind of wasted, but he was going in on Hispanics. Going in balls deep. Guys, showrunner, youtube.com/@93ZayTV. Got to make sure that my sponsors are given some shine here. Also, www.HudsonTubs.com. Ask for Maurice if you have any type of bathtub reglazing or anything with regards to antiques in your bathroom. Or I even say he does stuff with regards to sinks and, homes that are considered to be antiques. Wait a minute. Whoa. Wait a minute. that Ricky Dread's happening from this Toronto. Ricky Dread, we love hip hop. How are you, man? Good to hear from you.
I'm well. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I ran your banner earlier, man. I thought about you with regards to Drake and the petitions that are concerning with a lot of people across the globe. You yourself, you're out of Canada. What are your thoughts? And is there anything going on up there that we don't necessarily know about down here in the States?
I think that this is it's definitely a unprecedented lawsuit, and it's going to be opening up a lot more of a big wormhole, I guess, or a can of worms when it comes to the whole music industry. It's just when it comes to this whole battle, it's bad timing. It makes Drake kind of look like a Karen, but I understand where he's coming from.
Why do you understand where he's coming from, Ricky Dread? Why?
Because this song basically helped to defame his character. He probably lost a lot of opportunities as far as different contracts or deals. He's been beefing with his label. And it's the simple fact that it just showed from the way he's been releasing music for the last 3-4 months. Everything he's been releasing has been via his Instagram, via the 100 gigs thing.
Okay.
So there's definitely beef with the label. And that just helps to exacerbate the beef even more by pushing somebody who's on the same label as me, but then giving them favorable treatment by pushing their song and then still collecting a percentage. Because you got to remember, part of the lawsuit is they were going to license not like us to Spotify for a lesser rate.
Mm-hmm.
So right there, that's just bad business on the side of Universal.
Well, hang on a second now. To be technical, UMG owns part of Spotify. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is they're dipping their hands in the pot twice.
Well, in similar fashion to how the major radio corporations are on the board with regards to Nielsen ratings. You know, these companies over the years, they're on the board of Nielsen that tracks the ratings, and you have to pay to get that information. It's almost like approved insider trading. Approved insider
Basically.
trading. So with regards to Spotify and UMG, yeah, it's to their benefit. So even if Drake has firsthand knowledge of that, why would he now say foul ball if he has benefited from that? And I'm sure he has. Why would he now cry foul just over the bars about him being a person involved with minors? It's just a bar.
It's a bar, but it also helped start a landslide. Anybody knows when you go on YouTube, including the title that you have for your video, the downfall of Drake, the downfall of Aubrey Graham.
Yeah,
it's a key phrase now when you go on YouTube. That wasn't the case back in 2023, and this is all due to Not Like Us. It's not because of the battle. The battle had great songs, Euphoria, all the other songs that came out of the battle. But that Not Like Us and that one line, the A minor, whatever the line was, has helped to desecrate Drake's character and is eating into his pockets. And Universal helping to eat into his pockets, I think, is where he's coming from.
Okay. Millie.
And also one thing about that.
Hold on a second. Millie Bobby Brown. You don't think that was him on his own? Was Universal, were they a part of him, texting that 14-year-old girl back in 2018? Did they take part in that? Were they supposed to step in? He was 31 at the time. She was 14. Were they supposed to step in?
No.
Okay.
And listen, I'm not going to excuse, because I know people will call me the Drake Glazer and everything else just because of where I come from.
Right.
And I'm not going to excuse texting a 15-year-old or whatever the age she was at the time. 14. However, 14. However, when it comes to celebrities, Michael Jackson's a bad example.
Innocent.
But he was hanging out with Macaulay Culkin.
Nice try, though. Macaulay Culkin said nothing happened. You're reaching. Go ahead.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
So the same could apply with Millie Bobby Brown. They're texting with each other. Okay, these celebrities, they text with each other, they give each other advice, different things like that. I hate having to use this rationale because it makes me sound like a glazer, because it doesn't look good.
Gotcha.
But it is what it is. It would be a different story if it's John from Walmart texting some 14-year-old at the high school down the street. These are two celebs.
I hear you, man, but even still, she was a minor. But I don't want to harp on that. Okay, so you're up in Toronto, and it's got to be buzzing up there like crazy. Who was the streamer? I forget his name. The guy that Drake went on his stream, the white guy with the bleach blonde hair. What's his name? Q something or
XQC?
Let me write that down.
XQC. He's a big streamer as far as his American audience, and he's essentially a gamer. Where he does gaming streams, but he also does gambling streams.
Okay.
And they both have ties in stake. So this is probably a stake obligation for Drake to jump on this man's stream. Also, he's originally from Quebec, so that might help too.
Okay. I watched in detail. I saw when he was playing the Weeknd's music, and Drake said, you got to take that off. He says, real 7-6ers or real 6 heads. We don't, what did he say? How did he say we don't play that? He's talking about the Weeknd's music.
Yeah, we only real Sixers. Only real Sixers. Right. Here's the thing that I found a little bit funny with that, because recently...
The hater misses nothing. Go.
Right? Recently, I reported that The Weeknd and Drake, they were maybe starting to get cool again. Right? There was some talks that they've had some conversations behind the scenes, and they might be looking on roads of mending the beef that they had originally.
Ricky Dredd,
I don't know what happened.
Ricky Dredd, he said, talking to XQC, he said, you got to take that off. He says,
that's what surprised me, man. I thought it was peace.
We don't play that. Okay, so what do you want us to know? And I want people to go to your platform. Let me see if I can get your information in the showrunner. Pardon me, man. I was consumed doing other stuff. What do people need to go to your platform to hear with regards to these developments? We love hip hop, please.
Well, if you want the most objective view coming out of Canada, or to me, pretty much on the internet, period, on this whole beef, as well as just any other hip hop topics that are going on in the scene, tap into the We Love Hip Hop Network.
Okay.
We do 2 episodes a week on all listening platforms, and we upload to YouTube every day, and I go live every Wednesday.
Nice. I have to get your information from my showrunner. Can you please email me what you want in the showrunner? I appreciate you tapping in. Please keep us posted. And with regards to the petitions, are you reading the responses as well that have come down from UMG?
I'm going to be doing a full comprehensive breakdown tomorrow, starting from 11 a.m.
Okay.
On this whole case specifically, as well as a bunch of other topics. But this case is going to be the main thing that we're going to be covering tomorrow.
Yeah, I think so. Hey, man, great to talk to you. Thank you, Ricky Dredd. Thank you, man.
No, thanks for having me on, Star.
Okay, yes, sir.
Peace.
Ricky Dredd tapping in. Boy, people forgot about that little 14-year-old white girl. How old is she now? Hold on a second. Hey, Sunday. Sunday said, okay, where are you? Where's the link for Sunday to cam up? Sunday, check your email. That should be the right link. Okay. YouTube.com/@today's religious talk. David D. Cordova. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, somebody said some information on the game. Oh my goodness. Oh. No. Deeds, the link you sent me is from Hot New Hip Hop. That's from the 22nd. I saw a post that said the judge ordered Game to move out of that house. See, he's not fighting. The fight is over. The judge said move out. And the proceeds are going to go to the girl. I forget her name. Maybe it's best I don't say her name. Yeah. The judge told him to pack up and get out. Sheesh. Area code 413. Good evening. We're talking about the petitions with regards to the lawsuits that Drake is putting in motion. Are you there? Area code 413.
Yo, what's poppin', Star? Happy early Turkey Day.
Hey, man. Yes. Do you celebrate the holidays?
Yeah, man. It's a time to get together with the fam. This panel, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, I'm looking forward to the food, you know, sipping a little something and watching some football.
Nice.
And just really kicking back, you know?
Let's go.
And talking to the family, you know, the ones that are my age about this rap beef. It's sad that we are at this point with the sixth God. You know, he is now in my eyes.
I love it.
Devin Haney of rap. He's the Devin Haney of rap.
Ooh, I like
the
that.
Devin Haney of the rap.
I like that. Come on.
He's the Devin Haney. Because look, as a man, you got to take the L.
Yeah.
Take the L and keep it moving. In my honest opinion, the reason we are at this point is because of Kendrick performing this song on the biggest stage of the world. Not the Grammys, not his concerts, but the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is a worldwide event. Countries from all over the world.
Yeah.
And the way the NFL is trying to market themselves
Clearly.
to reach out into other places of the world, and you're going to have this man perform this song that has ended your career. I don't think Drake's career has ended by no means, but he's definitely going to have to pivot and reinvent himself somehow. Prior to this diss song, one of the worst diss songs ever in hip hop history was Ether. Nas bodied Hov, but Hov didn't and Hov came back, but that diss song wasn't as strong. Nas bodied him.
Yeah.
Hov came back out, and look at Hov now.
Right.
If we're talking about on a dollar scale, and I mean, Hov has surpassed Nas as far as like as being a businessman in dollars. But Drake just has to take this L. I think his father needs to talk to him, sit him down, and say, "Son, keep it moving. What you're doing is wrong because you're going up against a whole nother machine right now with corporate, and they about to body him. Some things might come out that we probably don't even know about, and it's good that you said that because you know, with these motions and counterclaims, exactly, things are going to have to come out. You can't just sue people, for those who don't know, and think that dragging people into depositions is only going to expose what they've been doing or allegedly, but you yourself have to be truthful, and you have to sit there for a minimum of 8 hours so he can be cross-examined. Is he ready to tell? Is he ready to admit to being involved in things allegedly that were inflating numbers and misleading, and you know, having to take other artists, you know, to take away their notoriety in a sense? Is he ready to do that? I think he's ready. I think his lawyers sat him down and explained to him the consequences of what he's going to have to and what will unravel. And this is the pill he's going to have to swallow. You know, Drake was a nigga when it was convenient to be a nigga.
Right.
Now it's not convenient to be a nigga anymore.
Yeah.
So now he's flipping to the Drew card. You know, he was conveniently a nigga when it was time to be a nigga, but now. And it's sad, man, because this is hip hop, you know. But this is an art form. Come on, man, take your L.
I disagree, Panna. You know, hip hop's a thing of the past, man. You know, battling was rooted in the origins of hip hop. This is such a out of control genre now. There's no parameters.
I agree.
I'm probably the only one who's been saying this for over 20 some odd years. It has no parameters, no guideline, no counsel, if you will. It's just a genre. It's the Wild Wild West. So that's how Drake has been able to sustain this long. And I think it's the ultimate hoe-ass move. But hey, before you go, how do I spell your name? Is it P-A-N-A?
Yeah, P-A-N-A, yup.
Panna, what's the other part you say?
Panna the Canna Man. But just Panna, man, Panna. Just Panna for short.
Okay. Go ahead, finish up, please.
Yeah.
Finish up.
So what I'm curious to see as this plays out is how Jay Prince is going to address this, because Jay Prince has had Drake's back from the very beginning. and now you're taking it to the courts and you know, Jay Prince, mob ties, the secrecy, this and that. We don't rat, we don't snitch. So let's see how it plays out with the slow talking man. You know, it's going to be very interesting. You know, salute to you. Have a happy holiday with you, man.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Take care. Code Red, I got your email. That's an old article. Guys, I got information. I don't want to say the source just yet. That Game was ordered to get out of the house. Never mind these old ass articles talking about he could lose the house. Hold on a second. Okay, here's Deeds with the up. Oh, here's the updated article from the 24th. Hot new hip hop. Despite multiple attempts to prevent them from seizing his assets, such as his home, to cover the judgment, the court still rules against him. Per court documents reportedly obtained by allhiphop.com, the United States District Judge denied the rapper's request to dismiss an order for him to sell off his house in Calabasas. He's got to go. In addition, the judge also canceled a court date in January of next year that was going to address these motions. Doing should not be made. You imagine packing your shit because a bitch is on your ass. Yosef, are you calling in, Yosef? Wait a minute. Hold on, guys. Sunday.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for your patience. I was reading up on rapper Game. He's been ordered to get out of his house. But what do you want to start? You want to talk about Drake? Drizzy?
I feel like everybody said what needed to be said already, but I do side with Dana. So, yeah.
And what did Dana say for those who just now tuned in who don't know what Dana said?
Well, she's in favor for Drake. I personally think he's making the appropriate steps. Instead of settling it in the streets, he's going through the courts. And it's like people are so used to seeing people like dead over disputes smaller than this. When you take it the right way, it's a problem either way. And it's hypocritical. It's like we're tired of seeing dead rappers, but he's doing something to prevent that, right? He's going through the legal system to remedy whatever quarrel he has. And I feel like he's taking the appropriate measures to make a claim because there's so many terrible footage of like dead rappers. And, we've all seen enough. Over small matters. This is a big issue. But me personally, it's so interesting because everybody has a bit of perspective that I really, really gravitate towards. Okay. One of that Kendrick's album is not that great. I think that he has 3 good songs and the rest are skips. And everything that Drake is doing right now is going to have an adverse effect because it's going to work in Kendrick's favor. That's what I think. I think that this lawsuit is making him even more popular, more famous, more of a Google search, more trending, and mainly because his album is not that great. I think if it was just based off of his album, he wouldn't be as popular right now prior to the headlining for the Super Bowl. That's what I think. I listened to that album 3 times and there's only 3 good songs on there. Okay. Not to make this about drugs, but if in relation to drugs, you have your uppers and your downers, right? His album is a downer. It's a downer. It's like depressed emo music. You've got 3 songs that are uppers, but one thing that Drake mastered, and I'm not a super fan of Drake, but one of the things that he mastered is that he's got really, really good energy throughout every single track to where nobody's wanting to slit their wrist after listening to it. Okay. nobody's like, I don't want to live anymore. Like his music was so.
If I can jump in and go back for a second, where is this talk of violence coming from? You said instead of taking it to the streets. I mean, has Kendrick done anything to Drake by way of aggression? I don't have any knowledge or proof of that.
No, I just mean like historically, rappers have not had the best track record as far as settling disagreements. There are so many.
Well, hang on. Nor do white rock and rollers. I mean, I don't mean to throw off what you're saying, but Dimebag Darrell, great guitar player, you know, one of his crazy fans came and shot him in the face on the goddamn stage, and the list goes on and on and on. I mean, the people have died at Who concerts, trampled to death. So that's violence. But now, hang on a second. Supposedly there were gunshots outside of Drake's home.
Right.
Kendrick had something to do with that, or was that the Weeknd's team, allegedly?
I mean, you can't really say. There's not enough information. It did have something to do in the paperwork. That would have really strengthened his entire lawsuit. I think that.
Oh, I think he's going to say, "Hey, these are gang members. You know, my life is in danger." Yes, I said early he's pulling that small hat card. But okay, so you're saying it's about the music for you. You prefer Drake's music, and he's being labeled wrong in spite of the fact that his behavior with that 14-year-old girl that I pointed out back in 2018, very, very cringe and other stuff. You still say he's right within his actions, and if that's how you feel, fine. But I just want to make sure that's where you're standing.
I'm not saying it's okay, but celebrities live a different life than a normal person. You know, I know for a fact that when it comes to bar mitzvahs, for a lot of young children, they'll have Cardi B perform WAP, which is about your vagina, to children. And that is not to discredit her. It's just to state that there is more accessibility for celebrities to have connection to minors. And it doesn't always mean that it's criminal, because the parents, for some reason, you know, maybe they're incentivized in order to network and build opportunities when they do become of working age, to just kind of segue into film, television, music, whatever, which is what Dana had said. And I think that if anybody was to have an issue with whatever their communications were, it needs to come from the parents. And there hasn't been any tangible, solid evidence to say this is irrefutable, he was out of line. That's not for Kendrick to speculate. And I feel like if you're going to say something that implicates somebody else, then be prepared for the repercussions. I mean, he has every right to sue, and the courts have every right to throw it out. And so I think both of them have their pros and cons. I'm not saying that I think that both of them have their strengths and their weaknesses, but I see nothing wrong with him filing a lawsuit. It helps Kendrick at the end of the day. Yeah.
Yeah, it does, you know, bring more attention to Kendrick and more support, if you will. I don't know how that's going to translate, but this is widely perceived by the masses as a hoe-ass move. Would you agree there? By the masses.
Yeah, okay, well, they're never happy though. So you want somebody to lose their life, you want somebody to end up in the hospital, but then when you do the legal
I said nothing about violence. I'm just saying how it's perceived. You keep talking about the violence and lose their life. Whoa.
Lost their life this year already. And I truly, like, not everything has to be like a street thing, you know? Sometimes you just, Cardi B, nobody tells her, oh, you're this, you're that, you know? Like, right. Is there for these matters. And I feel like he's like, if he can get a bag, get a bag. That's what I call it.
Okay.
It is.
Hey,
also,
I do want to add. Okay.
The food in Seattle is disgusting.
That's what I want to talk to you about. Okay, so hold on. Let me put this back on the screen. Don't say the name of the restaurant. I sent you the email. Keith Lee, food critic. He was in Seattle and a couple of weeks back, and he didn't get food poisoning, but he was holding up piece of sushi on some chopsticks, and one of the, I guess, his supporters, they found something moving on the goddamn sushi. He ate it. He didn't get sick, but the next day, when traction started picking up from that little thing moving, that parasite, whatever you want to call it, a couple provided receipts and text messages. The guy's girl was in the hospital. They also ate at that restaurant. So food poisoning, if you will. You spent time in Seattle. Is that a thing out there?
I was there for 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I lived in the heart of Seattle, and the food is disgusting. It's disgusting. Wow. It is almost inedible. It's so trash, and it's overpriced. Okay. And that dude was doing was fantastic because he brought awareness to how it shouldn't be running, you know, and also it's bringing awareness to other businesses that are struggling, and social media is the way to market. You can't market without social media. So what he's doing is fantastic. Seattle food, Washington food is disgusting. I have lived all over the country. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but I've lived everywhere, and Seattle's food is the worst next to Alaska. Disgusting. It's like the type of stuff you want to spit out. So I'm surprised he even liked it before, you know, he found out that it was contaminated. You know, it's so gross. Seattle is like big on tech, and like I mean, I was forced to cook at home because the takeout was so trash. And then I also thought maybe it's because I lived in New York for 20 years. Maybe that's why I'm such a snob about food. I don't know.
Okay. You also lived in Alaska.
Yeah, 4 years. Yep.
Sheesh.
Yeah. I lived everywhere. Miami, Alaska, Jersey.
Are you on the run? What's I never asked you about that. What's going on with you?
I'm not going to get into that. I'm not on the run, though.
Oh, okay. All right. Hey, great to talk to you. Anything else you want to mention? Any new music coming from your platform?
So my primary focus right now is finishing my book, Boost, which I'm really, really proud of. It's my first body of work, and the music is going to accompany the book. So I have a way to where they're going to pair and marry each other. But yeah, anybody who's interested, you can follow me on YouTube. Hot Sunday on YouTube.
Hot Sunday. And that's Sundae.
That's right.
Okay. Great talking to you, Sunday.
Thank you.
Bye now. Okay. All right. Sunday tapping in. Okay, guys. Sushi restaurant closed due to Keith Lee in review. Pardon me. That's in Seattle. Was someone else on hold from Canada? Guys, give me a second. I want to make sure I'm promoting some of my sponsors here. Emanuele, I thought I saw you in the queue, sir. Yes, no, maybe? This might be him right here. Emanuele, is that you, sir? Area code 340 tapping in.
Yes, sir. Good night. 1051 fam checking in.
Hey, man. Oh, I thought you were somebody else. Hey, man, what's going on with you?
What's up, man? I just want to put my 2 cents about the Drake thing.
Please.
Yeah, I think he's making a mistake, man. We just saw Diddy doing the bite the hand that feeds you thing, and now he's going down the same route.
Right.
When these businesses, when these corporations run their numbers and they make their decisions together, especially when you're an entertainer on their roster, right? They don't look at your ego or your feelings. They look at numbers. So if they choose someone else to raise them up, and you need to take a backseat, you should just go with the flow. Like you were saying earlier, those are the people that you know made you who you are. Just roll. They're basically your bosses, man. Just roll with the punches. You know, It's just ego at the end of the day. You know, you made out well. You're one of the top guys. You're still considered one of the top guys in music. So just go with the flow, man. Take your loss gracefully, and maybe it'll be your time again, maybe not. But that's dangerous what he's doing. He's using the courts against these a faceless monster. I mean, he said it himself, man. That's not a good idea, I don't think.
Yeah. Do you think that he's too far in and he can't see any other way out than to launch, these legal petitions and to try and save face and turn the tide?
I think that he's now too far in. I mean, I don't think he's using the right channel to save face, man. Saving face, he could have bowed out gracefully. You know what I'm saying? And this isn't saving face. Once you go up against a corporation like that, they're gonna start digging, and they're gonna try to slander you. You know what I'm saying? So that's not saving face at all. That's putting yourself in a position to be further slandered to me.
And let me point out for those who don't know, the petitions are in my community section. These are pre-action petitions. I'm going to bring in a buddy of mine, Goo, to break that down shortly. But in the second pre-action petition, where he's alleging defamation, he's requesting that iHeart, he's requesting to get them in depositions. He wants to question the heads of different departments, programming, special projects, the digital spaces, and so on and so forth. He wants them to reveal information with regards to his claims. But go ahead, finish up, man. I just want to point that out.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because everything you just named, right? What he wants to expose, and the information he wants them to give up. This is how they do things, man. Like. Yeah. I'm sure they play those same games to get him in the front. So it's like he's playing a dangerous game. That's all I'm calling to see. And anyone who thinks that, the reason I call it is because a lot of people, I know some people see that as, okay, the little guy going against a monster, but that's not what it is. No. He's playing a real foolish game, and the same things that he's asking them to reveal, this is the same systems that they use to raise and bring down whoever they feel to do that to. So
absolutely,
that's just my piece. Yeah.
Good to talk to you, man. Thank you. Yes, sir.
All right, respect.
All right, respect. Okay, guys, I have a buddy of mine. I want to continue this conversation. Someone pretending to be, I'm just gonna say kid, KID. Sorry, sent straight Cash App. Didn't know this was different. But Drake is waving the white flag, and he wants to take down the system because of his content. I'm not sure what your message said. Someone named Kid. He's using one of my homies' names. Okay. Yosef. Okay, see you in the queue. Sit tight. Is this Goo tapping in? My homie Goo on a Tuesday night? Can't do that.
I'm sorry, man. I was at the bar. I'm sorry. Yeah. My fault, man.
You're calling me from the bar on my phone, and I said call the show, man. Good to hear from you.
Yes. Yeah. How you doing, man? Good, definitely. Good. I'm here.
Okay. For those who don't know, this is your area of work, and you consult with people. You work with labels, publishing, and all sorts of things. Where do you want to start with regards to these pre-action petitions? Where do you want to start? Go.
Well, I mean, with the petition, just to start, I don't think Drake's going to get anywhere at the same time. I mean, and just look at in the deposition, they gotta provide evidence. Right. The same evidence that they're going to provide in the deposition, in discovery. The same stuff the same evidence they got. Show in discovery is the same evidence that they're going to show on how they provided numbers for Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? So it's like don't think the technique is any different. You know what I'm saying? Drake benefited from the same thing that Kendrick Lamar has benefited from the song that blew up. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he could get anywhere, you know what I'm saying, with it. And yeah, Universal has Universal, they bought into Spotify. So years ago, when artists started thinking that they were smart and going independent, like, I'm gonna go independent. Okay, cool. You can go independent, but you don't understand that Universal and the major companies bought into the DSPs. They own a portion of the DSPs. They own a portion of Spotify and stuff like that. So you can go, I'm not major. Okay, fine. You were independent. They're still eating because they own a piece of Spotify and the DSPs. you could think whatever. The majors are still getting a piece. If you look at their quarterly market share and their investments from stock and stuff like that, they're only going up. You know what I'm saying? That's because of what they have bought. And the thing about it is with the licensing portion right now, and you see the stocks going up in Billboard magazine and stuff like that, they make a lot of money from deals from licensing. It's not really the DSPs and stuff like that right now. It's them doing deals with TikTok and doing licensing deals for multi-millions of dollars and stuff like that. And then they got it. Then they'll pay you a micro cent. You know what I'm saying? Because the DSPs in Congress hasn't been perfected on the usage and things like that, like radio and stuff like that. So if you look at it, TikTok, Apple, these other companies, their DSP rates are all different.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like radio, Hot 97, all the radios, they pay the same rate during day, night, things like that, how they adjust. You know what I'm saying? I could start a streaming platform right now and come up with whatever percentage I want to pay you. You know what I'm saying? So either way, that's the situation at hand. But with Drake, I think it's some bull. At the end of the day, I just think at the end of the day, that song, They're Not Like Us is so big, he's going to perform it during the Super Bowl and stuff like that. I think Drake is just trying to suppress it as much as possible before it comes out and slaps him in the face during the Super Bowl.
Let me ask you, what is the relationship with Drake and Jay-Z at this point? Because it's no secret Jay-Z is the hand that places people on that halftime platform.
Yeah, in my opinion, I don't think it's where it needs to be. The thing about it is that Jay-Z's control. Remember, he shysted Jermaine Dupri for that position that he's in right now to dictate what's going on with the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
That's alleged, but hang on a second, Google. What I'm talking about is Drake. So in his feelings, clearly we see this. Do you think that he may send a cease and desist to the NFL, Jay-Z, with regards to the upcoming halftime performance to get them to make sure that word is not put out there to describe Drake? Do you think that's a possibility?
Yeah, but I think he put these two pieces out right now to kind of dictate the Super Bowl situation, and how it gravitates through this situation right now. It'll kind of dictate what happens a month and a half from now with the Super Bowl. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So he's trying to get in court right now to kind of like settle the situation. If he can kind of get something reasonable out of it, and you know how court is, it takes ages, so it's not going to catch up by the Super Bowl. It's only a month and a half from now, 2 months from now from the Super Bowl. So there's no way he's going to get his way to suppress the song. I don't think, in my opinion, by within 2 months. It's a new court draft. You know what I'm saying? They don't move that fast.
If I can jump in, and for those who don't know, this is a friend of mine, Goo. Goo deals with contracts, helping artists, producers, find money. If you have ever written songs and you're looking for any type of assistance, Goo, I should have your information. Matter of fact, guys, there's my email address.
Absolutely.
My email address on the screen if you want to contact Goo. You have been very instrumental recently with regards to Puffy and the Bad Boy catalog. People are getting paid.
Yeah.
Fat
Puffy,
Joe, Liza, Terror Squad, the whole
Puffy,
nine. Go ahead.
Puffy hung up on me a week before he went to jail. I had to talk to him about some money. He banged the phone on me with Stevie J. I had Stevie J and Puffy on the three-way. He banged the phone on me in three-way when I had to talk about some money, like some money, blah blah blah. But he sent us $500,000. Bro, he's done his job. He owes us some more money. You know what I'm saying? But hey, put it this way, I don't mean to shade Drake. I got 3 songs on the Scorpion album. We got 10% of Nice for What. We got 10% In My Feelings. Nice. I got 12.5% for Mob Ties. I mean, Drake has changed my life in a little bit since 2019, 2020 with the money that's came in. The only problem I got with Drake is that he don't let people get plaques. I'm trying to get a plaque for my room. He won't give out a plaque. It is what it is. But at the same time, we've eaten off of him. But with Jay-Z, I think he's more like he's at the perception of that he's the king of hip hop, and he kind of dictates what's going on. He's not going to let Drake do certain things so he can have a chess piece over him. So Jay-Z kind of knows, like, even with Kendrick Lamar performing this and that, he's letting them do that. He'll never be Jay-Z at the end of the day.
Let me jump in, Goo. In your professional opinion, having dealt with, and you still do, contracts
Absolutely.
Negotiating deals, legal areas, and what have you. Do you think hold on one second, let me just ask you the question. Do you think this is a bluff? Again, these are pre-action petitions. Do you think that these are a strong bluff to derail the Super Bowl performance, to get everybody talking as we are, and to then get Drake out of his contract with UMG so that he could then go to Sony or some other platform?
Hey, man, Drake's relationship with UMG is over, basically due to the fact that, you know, he tried to sue Universal. Right. I've seen this before when I was working with Benzino, when he tried to sue Universal against Eminem back in 2002. Right. And when he tried to sue them back in 2002 against Eminem, well, Eminem paid all the bills. You know what I'm saying? You know how quick Universal turned on him, no matter what kind of deal that they had? You know how fast they turned on him? I'm still trying to rectify issues from his 1997 contract with the Source and Surrender Records and stuff like that he had. You know what I'm saying? Because basically they said, oh, you trying to sue Eminem? They took all Benzino's paperwork and just threw it up in the air. And they said 30,000 pages. They said, you figure it out from here. You know what I'm saying? You know, so that's how they do. They take sides. He's paying all the bills. You know what I'm saying? Guys like that, Drake is paying all the bills. But when Kendrick Lamar is coming with that momentum, even staff, regular people, everything, they all side with the momentum. You know what I'm saying? Drake was yesterday kind of to them. They're looking at what's right now. Oh, Kendrick Lamar's paying all the bills right now. We're rocking with Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not a game of who you love. It's basically at Universal or these labels is who's paying the bills right now. Yeah. What have you done for me done for me lately? Janet Jackson. Right. You know what I'm saying?
So one other question here, and then you can land your plane wherever you want to. Again, these are petitions, all right? They're stating the nature of the dispute. Do you think that with all of the case law that's cited here, do you think that Drake ultimately is initiating a hard bluff, and after the Super Bowl, he will either move to settle this or drop it altogether and just say,
I think with the comfortability of the type of money that he has, and if he says like, yo, I could sue and be comfortable for the next 3-4 years, if he thinks he got a case against Universal, I think he'll push it forward. You know what I'm saying? I really think he'll push it forward only because of the perception that he knows, like I know, that Universal owns a piece of Spotify. He's automatically going to think that there's, you know, some type of dictation in schemes and stuff like that against him right there because Universal controls Spotify or may control Spotify. Right. You know what I'm saying? And you know how these artists are, conspiracy theories, and they always think it's bigger than what it is. Right. You know what I'm saying? I think he would just be under that perception. You know, his ego, plus, you know, the damage and things like that. You know what I'm saying? I think he would just be focused on Universal's trying to conspire against me. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's right. I don't think he's right.
Yeah, I don't think he's right, but he's not stupid. Even though we most of us don't like this, and it's a whole ass move. It might be. And hear me out, you don't have to agree with me. It might be a brilliant bluff because we won't know if this is moving forward or not until UMG either responds with counterclaims or they wait until Drake actually doubles down. Right?
Okay.
We won't know until those counterclaims come in, and then at that point he may say, let's work it out and let's just all play nice. Finish up. Please.
All right, but don't you think since Drake already shot at Universal, don't you think Universal's in their feelings from here on?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
I think
Go. No. As I said when I started this show, Universal is a faceless monster. It's all legal. It's not one or two people saying, "Hey, let's do this against Drake." No, it's a faceless monster. They're going to do what's in the best interest of the company. I just had to say that. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we'll look into that as time develops. I think something's going to develop I think something will develop pretty soon. He got 2 cases against him now. One doesn't he have a defamation case now too? Also for whatever, some other things.
Petitions.
You know what I'm saying?
Petitions.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's a petition. Okay. Wow. Okay. What is that supposed to do? That's supposed to scare the opposite side to drop everything from their DSPs and drop all the stuff and drop their income.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, is he strong enough to make Universal make a move like that? You know what I'm saying? These are
bingo.
People like
bingo. We're gonna see.
Right. Okay. That's all I'm saying. It's like I don't think Universal. Personally, I went to court before against Sony, and when I went to court against Sony, they had 5 lawyers there against my lawyer. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They're trying to prove their point. I mean, they lost in the case at the end of the day, but I'm just saying, just trying to prove their point.
Right.
I'm just saying, I don't think Universal wants anybody or any record label that's major wants anybody to set precedents.
Right.
On anything. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all I try to do all day. I try to jump inside the labels and set precedents. I try to make a proof of concept on their mistakes, so I can make money on top of the same mistakes that they made continuously. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man,
you know what I'm saying?
I want to promote you when you go live. Come on, I've been asking you, man. Go live.
Yeah, no, Gongu, Gongu, Roach. Go to YouTube, subscribe. I got stories about me taking Casanova 2 times to court. I got stories about me fighting with Puff. I got stories about me fighting, me helping Cash Money, not getting their record label stolen from them. I had somebody trying to pay when Baby owed $50 million to Lil Wayne. I had Baby's employee who was rich as hell telling me, "Don't pay Baby no more. I want to take the company from Baby. I want to take the company from Baby."
Go.
You know what I'm saying?
Go.
So,
Send me a link. Send me a link so I can post that in the community section. Great to talk to you.
All right, let's go. I got you, bro. I got you.
Okay. All right. Area code 778. Good evening. Is that Yosef?
Shalom, Star. How's it going?
Shalom, Yosef. The Jew card has been played. Would you care to speak to that?
Yeah, I'd like to tap in for this. I've been waiting all day. I even sent you an email. I'm coming 100% with the objective perspective today.
No, sir. You're coming with the Jew perspective. Keep it real.
I'm coming with a hated Jew perspective. I'm going to keep it real with you on that because, man, I don't care what Drake does. I can't stand Kendrick Lamar, man. I've never liked his music, and I'm about to go off for these next couple minutes, man. I'm going to start off Kendrick Lamar, and I'm going to stand on my soapbox on this one. Okay. He ruined the summer, man. The summer anthem was not like us, a negative song, a song that was negative. It had a negative energy to it. We were blocked by Drake putting out another summer anthem for the mommies to go to the club and shake, dance around to. Okay. Nothing beats a summer anthem, a nice, you know what I mean? Trying to enjoy it, man. I can't stand constantly being force-fed this music that's just promoting, violence. And this whole thing about payola coming into play, I mean, let's be real, everybody uses payola, but for this, I mean, it's a bit different. What I don't understand about Kendrick is how people champion him, and they champion as this, this freedom fighter, this, he's the, he's leading the new movement. I've never seen a black Hebrew Israelite make a song with Taylor Swift.
What
Israelites are doing that? Come on, man. Let's be real here. Imagine Dragons. Drake is a pop artist and he doesn't have a song with Taylor Swift, man. And Kendrick Lamar does. Somebody come here and smack the yarmulke off my head right now if I'm lying.
Come on.
I got time today, man. I got time today. Drake has been, and you're familiar with the battle rap scene too. I know you're a big supporter.
Yeah.
Has Drake not been a huge part of the battle rap scene?
Yeah.
He has. Yeah, exactly. And I'm just saying, I can't stand this pro gangbanging anthem for the summer. And it brings me, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me, I'm going to go a little back in time. is when Mariah Carey had the song with Gucci Mane, and Gucci Mane was getting interviewed about it, and he said, be honest, you riding around with your girl listening to Eminem? Nobody's riding around with their girl listening to Kendrick Lamar going, oh, this dick big as the Eiffel Tower. Like, turn that off, bro. Just put on one dance. Like, just have some fun, man. I'm so sick of this fake conscious, this fake conscious. Album was trash. The album was skipped. 3 songs, maybe, though, what people are saying. Albums aren't supposed to just be skipped like that. It's a body of work. It's supposed to be enjoyed from point A to point Z. That's my Canadian side coming out.
Okay, now hang on a second, Yosef. Hang on a second. So you don't like the gangster vibrato coming from the West and other, I would imagine, rappers that.
I know. I don't have.
Hang on. Other rappers that promote this fake violence. Is that what you're trying to say?
I wouldn't say necessarily I have a problem with the genre as a whole, but I just feel like with the platform that Kendrick Lamar tries to stand on and then sort of falling back on this, I think it's counterproductive. I think, to say you've liberated LA gangs like he did at his big, show, but the whole energy of the show was to basically go at another person. I find that kind of far-fetched, and it was like they were trying to do this whole revival of Death Row versus Bad Boy, but it was like Kendrick Lamar and all the Crips and Bloods versus, a Jew from Toronto.
But hang on a second, Yosef. We have to be real with ourselves. You and I both support our guy Netanyahu. Yes, I mean he's really gangster right now. Yeah.
Oh, funny. Listen, man. It could be Netanyahu. It could be Eddie went back to Ben Gurion, man. I'm riding with the blue and white.
Okay.
It's actually interesting.
But now, hang on a second. Have they agreed to a cease and desist? Because they've been going in. They've been going 10 toes down, ape-ish, if you will. And there's a warrant out for his arrest, right?
For Netanyahu?
Yeah.
No, man, we're talking about Drake right now, man. We don't got to talk about politics. We're talking about that ignorance.
No. Google, hold on a second. Blade.
No. I'm up to date.
There's a warrant. I'll Google. There's a warrant for our guy, Netanyahu. I mean, if we're talking about gangster vibrato and killing, yada, yada. But okay, you were saying, I'll Google. Go ahead.
No, I did. I had it.
Viva Israel.
Because I was just at work, but I am aware that there has been a ceasefire put out for what we're doing in Lebanon, but we're 10 toes down. We're gangster. We're thugging it. So I'm not addressing that. A warrant, like it's like Trump, like they probably had a warrant for Trump, but Trump's a gangster. And then you have a gangster. But listen, I'm gonna land my plane on this because I could go off for hours about how much I can't stand Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar is championed as the artistic expression of Obama, and because of that, he's like black radicalization that's marketable to white people. That's what Kendrick Lamar's music is. That's what it is, and that's why he has a song with Taylor Swift, and he's a proclaimed black Israelite. I'm landing my plane on that. I can't stand Kendrick Lamar.
Salute.
I'm standing with the small hats. Shalom,
Salute.
shalom.
Shalom. Okay, all right. Yosef tapping in. Blade, did you hear Yosef going 10 toes down? He didn't want to talk about the ICC arrest warrants. But I appreciate his support. Hold on a second, guys. Gangs of Love. He says, YJ Prince not stepping in. Bad look. Well, I don't know, Gangs of Love. Do you think that well, listen, I said earlier, I said the Jew card has been played. So it's not like Drake has to, check in with the black OG. This is your business right now. Guys, there's all information on the bottom row there if you want to support the machine. And someone reached out about a consultation, so I did respond. Hopefully you got that message. Let's see if we can catch up either tomorrow or Thursday, all right? Oh, here's Blade tapping in. Yeah. Let me take one more call, guys. I do want to take a break. We've been talking for almost 2 hours and 30 minutes. Rob Lowe, good to hear from you, sir. Thank you for your support. Where do you want to start? Rob Lowe.
Peace, Star. Salute.
Peace. Yes, sir. You have the floor.
So that Jew kid, he said a lot.
Yosef, yes.
Yeah. See, the problem with the problem with what he's talking about with this whole Drake thing is that Drake is having fun at our expense, and that's what the whole point of They Not Like Us is about.
Okay.
Like you don't even, just because Drake is half Jew, that doesn't mean that you got a dog in the fight. I mean, what's besides Drake being a plant in the industry and Drake going around, like Kendrick was saying, to Atlanta, to Houston, to all of these places and making caricatures of the people from these different places that are doing their form of hip hop, which is an American born culture. And this kid now taking pop shots at someone and then someone returned fire. And now you want mercy and you want to sue somebody or you want to stop something or restrain something because now your ability to make money has been hindered. You brought this all on yourself because he did say, don't go there. This is just a friendly fade. Let's keep it light. Let's go back and forth. And you went and you started talking about his wife. You said that his kid wasn't his. Then in order to get in front of something that you knew was coming, you're the one who said that you supplied him with the information about being a PDF file. So with that being said, now you're trying to make a move where you're trying to stop him from doing the song on the Super Bowl because you don't want him to say A minor. Right. You don't want him to say that. And you're trying to, you see, all of this has to do with privilege. It has to do with being a sore winner and a sore loser. Right. And when you put these factors together and you're trying to say that the rules that one group of people, which is the entire culture, has to step back and let this one kid who is not from here, was not born here, is not a part of the culture, listening to Rory, this is bigger than what you're talking about. See, people need to take documents and notes, and it has to be accessible on the fly. Kanye West, not to get into his whole thing, but he was right about what he was saying, about what was going on, about Lucian Grange. That deal that Drake has right now for this $400 million, Kanye had that first from the same guy, and he walked away from it. Right. Now what the issue is that now that Drake has been derailed, he still owes that money. All these people keep talking about, he got all this money. The money he got is on a loan. Now, he might have made some money from a show, but if you owe $378 million and you're getting a couple $1,000, a couple $100,000, or your tour grosses 30-something million, you're not walking away with the $30 million at the tour gross. Right. You still got to pay people. Right. So you're not walking away with that large amount of money. And that's what this all might be about. It might be about him trying to get out of the contract. Yeah. Everybody.
If I can jump in, Rob Lowe, I put that on the table roughly an hour ago. It could be a really, really hard bluff. Could be a hard bluff. Again, these are for those who don't know, they're in my community section. These are pre-action petitions. And I like what, I'm sorry, I hit a button here. I like what you said, Rob, that people need to read. Yeah, I mean, people are throwing around the words, lawsuit. You're getting sued. Pre-action petitions. There's a way that you lead up to a real serious, lawsuit. And this
ain't even that.
It could be. Could be a hard bluff.
Trying to get them. Yeah, he's trying to get them to bring up to give him the information so that he could do the research to find out if there is grounds for him to do something. Right. But like I said, I believe that he's trying to get out of the contract because this has happened and a lot of things have been brought to light.
Yeah.
And calling somebody a PDF file is a serious charge. And there's some proof there. There's proof there. That's why all of this
I want you to be careful because I don't know, sir, and you don't know. I have brought up the 14-year-old.
That's right.
Hang on. I have brought up the 14-year-old girl from 2018, but I don't know what was in those text messages. So I have no proof. You have no proof. Continue.
Yes, I digress. So I'll back off of that. But what I'm saying here is that you got somebody that now that their whole career is derailed.
Right.
And everybody keeps saying this whole thing about, oh, Drake is a genius. Oh, Drake is talented. No, Drake is an entity. The person that you see is like when you say the chump in the front.
Right.
He's not all of the decisions that he made. Right. He's not all of the rhymes that he wrote. He's not all the songs that were made. Everybody's trying to act like this guy's a one-stop shop. Right, and he see, if you're trying to say that, then you're trying to say that he's almost on par with what Kanye West has done. Now, Kanye West has talked himself out of everyone's favor, but he's not a genius like Kanye West. And I'm not a Kanye West fan, but people are trying to figure out, like, yo, why did he do this? Why did he do that? Right. Well, if he is who he says he is, or he is who most people believe that he is, he would have been putting out music. That was not up to him to not put out music. They sat him down because they were like, you're going to have to wait till this blows over. This right here is bigger than what you have amassed in your past decades. Right. And now he's doing this whole thing. This is all a ploy because he's trying to buy time. I think he's trying to get out of his contract. I think what he's trying to do is salvage what is left, which is not very much.
Right. If I can jump in for a second, Rob and just speak to this, because again, we did put this theory on the table that he could be trying to get out of his contract with this hard bluff, if this is what it is. He dropped 100 gigs of music a couple of months back, right?
Yeah.
I heard nothing.
Yep.
I heard nothing of. There had to have been some fire tracks in there, but it came and it went. Why did
I'm pretty sure.
Did you hear anything? I heard nothing.
Yeah. I went looking. It was hard to find, but the stuff that I heard, here's what happened to it. When Kendrick Lamar said, when superpowers get neutralized, right, what people saw before all of this is not there now. Right. So when you're listening to it, the trance that most people were in, the sleep that most people were in, right, you've been forced awake to now look at something for what it is. Right. He's not writing all of that stuff. He's not. He's just reading it off of a paper. Now you done found out that he's not even doing what you thought he was doing. He's actually taking an entire song from other people and then removing their vocals and putting his, and then adding an accent. Like, this is bigger than what people are trying to say, because people are now in this trance where, they will accept anything from anybody without vetting anything and giving people credit for stuff that they do not deserve. Right. He needs to be taken down. I believe that he is the problem. He is not hip hop. Okay. People keep saying this, that he's hip hop. Just because people be rapping, that don't make them hip hop. You got what's going on in Louisiana. This dude was not he was not a consideration. Nicki Minaj screaming and yelling. That's just like Dipset. None of them get along. They was gonna show up and try to get on the thing because Wayne is a junkie. Right. Let's be for real. He's reading from a teleprompter.
Well, we have to say alleged, sir. We've never seen
try
him
to get all three of them on.
Rob, we have to be careful.
Yeah.
We've never seen Lil Wayne smoke a crack rock, inject himself. Let's take it easy with the junkie claims. We have no proof, sir.
Look, like I said, I'll be listening. I'm gonna land my plane right there. This is a good show.
Thank you.
It's great to hear everybody's take on it, especially yours. But yeah, people are putting the pieces together, and some of this is still people waking up out of their slumber about what this kid has actually done. Right. Okay. This kid has actually ruined the music, ruined it, because it's all Spotify, it's all bots, it's all streaming. People,
Rob, I have to take a break, man.
The face of music.
I gotta take a break.
One last thing.
Go ahead.
People talking about this is going to change the face of music. How about the face of music change a couple of years ago when you slept through it? It already happened.
Okay. Rob, good to talk to you, man. Salute. Thank you, man.
Peace.
Okay. Star Report back in the building. Okay. We're finishing up on the discussion here Tuesday night with regards to, I'm saying, the rise and fall of Aubrey Graham, a.k.a. Drake, the sixth god, okay? I'm sure you're up to speed by now. The story has been viral for over 24 hours. In my community section are the two petitions. Okay, I urge you to look at them. These are pre-action petitions. Okay, and Drake has made accusations with regards to UMG recordings, Spotify, iHeart, and he's even in seek. So he claims in one of these petitions of a deposition. I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to act like some know-it-all, but my experience in the entertainment field, I've had a couple of lawsuits thrown out, but I've never lost a lawsuit. I've never been found guilty, never had to pay anybody a dime, never been fined by the FCC. I've told you this before. But here's the thing. It could be, as I said, a bluff. 347, thank you for your patience. Is that Gilda? Area code 347.
Hello?
Hey, good evening.
Hi, sir. How you doing?
Hey, man, I got your donation. Thank you for your support. What do you want to start, sir?
No problem. About the Drake. So payola works everywhere. Just start off with that. It's just marketing, right? So they can't guarantee it unless you pay a lot of money. So you were stating about the radio stations not having to play your song, but like if you pay a lot of money, eventually they might, right?
No. Hang on. No, they're never going to guarantee anything. No, that's not how that works.
Right.
Because it's illegal, and you could literally have somebody, have them in a place where they don't want to be. But there are ways to support and sponsor things at radio stations. I've broken that down before in the past. Go ahead.
True that. And then I wanted to go back to Rory.
Rory's not on the line, sir. Sir, he's not here. I don't want to do the back and forth. Just speak from what you want to say. What do you want to say?
Okay, Drake knew to respond right away after Not Like Us, right? Even if it meant like sending the petitions right after Not Like Us, he needed to do it like within those 2 weeks, and he didn't do it, right? So like that kind of like erases that. However, he's definitely in his feelings, and this is not necessarily because of the rap battle. I think he's always been at the top, and he was in a space where he actually was controlling everything, because it was mumble rap here and there. Nobody was really taking control of anything. He had the upper hand until him and J. Cole made the mistake of the first person shooter, where they mentioned the big three, right? I think that was the first mistake. So Drake kept egging Kendrick on, and I think this is from him saying that Universal was kind of like probably planning Kendrick's next album and giving attention to Kendrick more than Drake, and he's in negotiations, so he kind of felt away, right? And then from there, I think Drake got so high that he forgot that Kendrick was actually that dude, right? So he was like, okay, Kendrick has never battled anybody. Like, let me just try it.
Mm-hmm.
And he just lost, right? But then realizing that he's losing, he used to be UMG top dog, and he's in negotiation. He decided to be like, you know what? Now I'm just going to take down the whole system, because he knows exactly what they did to him, right?
If I can jump in for a second, sir, I don't know where you're coming from. Are you saying this was a plan? They worked on this together, Drake and Kendrick?
No, Drake is being.
Thank God you're not saying that. Oh no, this is it's all scripted. Thank God you're not saying that. Oh my God.
Drake is being petty, and he's bitter. And that's pretty much where we're at. Right? So he's gonna take down the whole system because he's gonna win regardless. I mean, he's gonna either derail the album sales right now for Kendrick, because the album just came out. Derail that. He's already tried to get Not Like Us being played. He lost that. He's trying to get it not played for the Super Bowl. Probably not going to work either, unless he actually sues Kendrick straight up, which he's not going to do. So he's
now hang on a second. I hear what you're saying, and it's largely speculation. No disrespect, but what do you think about Drake filing these petitions in the first place. Do you agree or not? Pre-action petitions. What do you think, sir?
I think that he had no other. He lost leverage once he lost the battle to Kendrick. Leverage in terms of his negotiation. Okay. So his next move is to file some sort of petition with UMG because his value was basically going down, and he was not going to win any money from UMG that he was anticipating.
Okay. So you understand why he filed these petitions, or you have no problem with it? I just want to be sure where you stand.
No, he's basically his rap career, like he's done, like in terms like I don't see a way he can come back and into rap or hip hop, like and do another rap album or like be like a strong represent himself like he's that dude. He can't do that anymore.
Okay.
Right. So by him,
do you think that he's done with rap, sir? Hang on a second. Do you think Drake's done with rap? I mean, he was on that live stream, right, with that the what is it, XQC? Didn't he say rap is weird? Did you watch that?
Yeah, I think he's gonna go to R&B and maybe international streaming type of thing. There's money there, so he might be seeing like opportunity like to make money through streaming. That's my speculation.
Okay.
But
all right,
that's what I see him playing at, because there's no way you make this move if you're gonna keep stay in the business, right? So you don't make this move if you're gonna stay in it.
I appreciate the call, sir. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay.
All right.